I want you to think about something for a moment right now. Somewhere in this world, someone is practicing their craft in complete solitude. A musician playing scales at 5 a.m., an athlete running sprints in the rain, a business owner reviewing spreadsheets while their competitors sleep. These are the silent champions, the ones who understand that greatness is not built on stage, it's built in silence. A profound truth I learned early in my career from watching thousands of successful people. Your choices in private ultimately become your results in public. Every single day you make hundreds of tiny decisions that no one sees. These decisions, these moments of truth, they are the real building blocks of success. Just last month, I met an extraordinary individual who started with nothing but a dream and an unwavering work ethic. He told me something I will never forget. He said, success is not about what you do when everyone's watching. It's about the thousands of hours you put in when no one knows your name. This man built a global enterprise, not through luck or connections, but through countless pred-on mornings and late nights when the only witness to his dedication was his own reflection in the computer screen. The truth about success, real lasting success, is that it's built in these private moments. It's built in those instances when you could cut corners but choose not to, when you could take the easy path but decide to take the right one, when you could quit but push through for one more hour, one more attempt, one more try. The power of private discipline. Self-discipline is not about following rules when others are watching. True self-discipline is what you do when you have complete freedom to do anything else. Every single successful person I have met in the past 30 years shares one common trait. They have mastered the art of doing what needs to be done, especially when no one is keeping score. This is not just about working hard. It's about working hard with purpose, with consistency, with unwavering commitment to excellence. I will never forget a conversation I had with a top surgeon. He told me something remarkable about his journey. Every single night after performing complex surgeries all day, he would spend 2 hours studying new techniques. Not because anyone required it, not because anyone would know if he didn't, but because he understood that true mastery demands constant private refinement. Your daily habits are like compound interest for your life. Every small decision, every private moment of discipline compounds over time to create extraordinary results. There are 3 fundamental laws that govern personal excellence. The first is the law of consistency. What you do consistently in private becomes your reality in public. If you consistently prepare, consistently learn, consistently improve, even by just one each day, you create an unstoppable momentum. The second is the law of private victory. Public triumphs are always preceded by private victories. Always that promotion you want. It's one in the hours you put in before everyone else arrives, that business breakthrough. It's created in the moments you choose work over distraction. The third law is the law of compound improvement. Small, consistent actions, repeated daily in private, create exponential results over time. This is why the most successful people in any field are often the ones who've developed the strongest private work ethic. One of the most successful business leaders I know started his journey by spending every Sunday evening planning his week while his competitors were relaxing. He did this for years, no social media posts about it. No recognition, just quiet, consistent preparation. Today his company leads his industry and people call it overnight success. But you and I know better. The real work happens in the shadows. It happens in those moments when a writer edits their work for the 10th time, even though the first draft was good enough. It happens when an athlete runs one more drill, shoots one more basket, lifts one more rep. And not because they have to, but because they have made excellence their standard. Private discipline is not just about working when no one's watching. It's about maintaining the highest standards, especially when no one's watching. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need external motivation because you are driven by something far more powerful, your own standards of excellence. And this brings us to a crucial understanding about self-motivation and the psychology behind sustained success. And this brings us to the most powerful force in human achievement, self-motivation. There are 2 types of motivation in this world. External motivation is like a fire that someone else builds for you. It feels warm, it feels good, but the moment they stop feeding it, the fire dies. Internal motivation, that's different. That's your own fire, burning from within, and it's the only kind that lasts. I have interviewed countless high achievers across every field imaginable, and I've noticed something fascinating. The ones who sustain success year after year, decade after decade, aren't driven by applause. They are not waiting for someone to pat them on the back. They have developed something far more powerful, an internal drive that keeps them moving forward, even when the world is not watching. What's amazing about internal motivation? It's not something you're born with. It's something you build day by day, decision by decision. Every time you choose to do what's right instead of what's easy, you are strengthening that internal fire. Every time you push through when others would quit, you are building that self-motivation muscle. Every morning when you wake up, your mind presents you with reasons why you could take it easy today, why you could skip that workout, why you could postpone that difficult task. These are the mental barriers that keep 95% of people from achieving their full potential. But here's the secret. These barriers aren't walls, they're just thoughts. And thoughts can be changed. I remember talking to an Olympic athlete who shared something profound about breaking mental barriers. She said, the voice that tells you to stop never goes away. You just get better at saying not today. This is the essence of building intrinsic drive. It's not about eliminating the obstacles. It's about building yourself into someone who overcomes them. The compound effect of daily actions is like a freight train. When it starts, the movement is slow, almost imperceptible. But with each small action, with each private victory, you build momentum. And once that train of self-motivation gets moving, it becomes unstoppable. This is why the most successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on momentum. True self-motivation is not about feeling good all the time. It's about doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. It's about understanding that your actions create your emotions, not the other way around. When you take action, even when you don't feel motivated, you create a positive feedback loop that strengthens your internal drive. And this is exactly why the early morning hours are so crucial to your success. These quiet hours before the world wakes up. And this is exactly why the early morning hours are so crucial to your success. These precious hours before dawn hold a power that few understand but all champions embrace. You see, what you do in the first hour of your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. I'm going to share something that might surprise you. The most successful people I have studied over the past 3 decades don't just wake up early, they own the morning. They understand that while the rest of the world sleeps, they have an opportunity to get ahead that can never be taken away from them. It's 5 a.m. The streets are quiet. The phones aren't ringing. Social media is silent. This is your time, your opportunity to shape your day, your life, your future, before the world has a chance to distract you. This is not about bragging rights or posting your early morning routine on social media. This is about something far more powerful. It's about winning the day before it begins. I recently spoke with a CEO who transformed her company from near bankruptcy to industry leadership. Her secret, she told me, my competitors started their day reacting to problems. I started my day creating solutions. Every morning, without fail, she spent 2 hours planning, thinking, and preparing. Long before her employees arrived, no one saw this. No one celebrated it, but everyone saw the results. Morning routines. They are not about cramming more work into your day. They are about preparing yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally to perform at your highest level. The most effective morning routine I've ever seen consists of 4 elements: physical activation, mental clarity, strategic planning, and personal growth. Start with 20 minutes of physical movement. It could be exercise, stretching, or even a brisk walk. This is not about becoming an athlete. It's about firing up your body's natural energy systems. Then spend 15 minutes in complete silence. Clear your mind. Some call it meditation. I call it mental preparation. Your mind is like a muscle. It performs best when properly warmed up. The next 30 minutes are for strategic planning, not checking emails, not responding to messages, pure uninterrupted thinking and planning time. Map out your day. Identify your most important tasks. Anticipate challenges. Create solutions before problems arise. The final part of your morning routine should be dedicated to personal growth. Read something that stretches your mind. Learn something new. Strengthen your knowledge in your field. Remember, while others are hitting the snooze button, you are hitting the books, expanding your capabilities, growing your potential. You must protect this time with everything you have got. The world will try to steal these hours from you. People will tell you it's unnecessary. They will say you are overdoing it. Remember this, extraordinary results require extraordinary dedication. The power of this morning routine lies not in any single day, but in its accumulation. Think about it. If you spend just 2 hours each morning on personal development and preparation, that's 730 hours per year of focused self-improvement that most people will never have. And this leads us perfectly into understanding what truly sets apart those who build an unshakable work ethic. And this brings us to the cornerstone of all lasting success, an unshakable work ethic. You see, talent is common, skills can be learned, but a rock-solid work ethic, that's rare. That's precious. That's what separates the good from the great. The most successful people in any field aren't necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who show up every single day, rain or shine, good mood or bad mood. They have learned that consistency trumps intensity every single time. I remember speaking with a world-class musician. Everyone praised his talent, his gift. But he shared something fascinating with me. He said, people see me play for 2 hours on stage. What they don't see are the 20,000 hours I spent practicing alone in a room, playing the same notes over and over until my fingers bled. That's what an unshakable work ethic looks like. You don't need to move mountains on day one. You just need to show up and do the work every single day. It's like pushing a heavy flywheel. The first few pushes seem to yield no results, but you keep pushing, keep showing up, keep doing the work. Suddenly, that flywheel starts to move, and once it's moving, it becomes unstoppable. One of the biggest challenges in developing a strong work ethic is overcoming the need for constant validation. We live in a world of instant gratification where everyone wants likes, comments, and immediate recognition. But real success doesn't work that way. The greatest achievements are built in silence through countless hours of unrecognized effort. Every time you choose to do the work when no one is watching, you are not just completing a task, you are building your character, you are strengthening your work ethic, you are creating a foundation of excellence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. The compound effect of daily excellence is absolutely staggering. Small improvements consistently made create exponential results over time. If you improve just 1% each day, by the end of 1 year, you are 37 times better. Not 365% better, 37 times better. That's the power of compound excellence. What most people don't understand about work ethic, it's not about working yourself to exhaustion. It's about approaching your work with purpose, with focus, with unwavering commitment to excellence. It's about doing what others won't do today, so you can do what others can't do tomorrow. And this is exactly why the hours you spend in solitude, perfecting your craft, are so crucial. And this is exactly why those silent hours, those precious moments of solitude, are where true champions are forged. You see, in our hyper-connected world, the ability to be alone with your thoughts, with your work, with your vision, that's becoming a superpower. I will never forget a conversation I had with an Olympic gold medalist. Most people saw his victory, the medal ceremony, the celebrations. But he told me something profound. He said, my gold medal wasn't won in the Olympics. It was won at 4. When I was alone in the gym, when my body was screaming to stop, when no one would have known if I quit. The silent hours, that's where champions are made. Every master craftsman, every industry leader, every game changer in history has understood one fundamental truth. Excellence demands isolation. Not isolation from life, but strategic solitude. Those focused periods where you shut out the world and dive deep into your craft. In these silent hours, something magical happens. Without the noise of the world, without constant interruptions, your mind enters a state of deep focus. This is where true mastery is built. This is where breakthroughs happen. This is where you transform from good to exceptional. I have seen it countless times. The difference between average performers and world-class achievers often comes down to how they use their alone time. Average performers fill this time with distractions. Flying champions fill it with deliberate practice. They understand that every minute of focused, purposeful practice pushes them further ahead of their competition. The power of these focused work sessions lies in their intensity and purity. When you are truly alone with your work, there's nowhere to hide, no one to impress, no one to make excuses to. It's just you and your standards of excellence. And in these moments, you have a choice to push harder, to dig deeper, to demand more from yourself. And this brings us to one of the most challenging aspects of the journey to excellence. Pushing through those plateaus, those moments when progress seems to stop. And this brings us to those critical moments in your journey, the plateaus, those frustrating periods when it seems like all your hard work is not moving the needle anymore. But here's what I have learned after decades of studying success. These plateaus aren't stop signs. They are launching pads. Every single person who's achieved anything significant has hit these walls. These moments when progress seems to stop, when motivation wanes, when doubt creeps in. But here's the fascinating truth. Plateaus are actually signs that you are ready for the next level. They are not failures. They're invitations to grow. I remember talking to a business owner who had built a $1 million company. He hit a plateau and stayed there for 18 months. Revenue wouldn't grow no matter what he tried. Most people would have accepted this as their limit. But he did something different. He realized that the skills that got him to $1 million wouldn't get him to 10 million. Instead of pushing harder with the same strategies, he completely reinvented his approach. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Your comfort zone is like a warm bed on a cold morning. It feels good, but it's not where champions are made. Every time you feel comfortable, that's your signal. That's your reminder that it's time to push into new territory. The silent struggles, those moments when you are wrestling with self-doubt, when you are failing in private, when you are questioning everything, these are actually your greatest opportunities. Because it's in these moments that your character is being forged. It's in these moments that you are building the strength to reach the next level. I have identified 4 breakthrough strategies that consistently work when facing any plateau. First, audit your habits with brutal honesty. Look at everything you are doing and ask yourself, is this moving me forward, or am I just going through the motions? Second, seek out new challenges that scare you. If your goals don't make you a little uncomfortable, they are not big enough. Third, and this is crucial, find the gaps in your knowledge or skills. Often, what looks like a plateau is actually just a missing piece in your puzzle. Maybe it's a skill you need to develop, a relationship you need to build, or a perspective you need to gain. And fourth, change your environment. Sometimes breaking through requires new surroundings, new influences, new energy. But what most people don't understand about breaking through plateaus, it's not just about working harder, it's about working differently. It's about being willing to abandon strategies that worked in the past but no longer serve your future. Think about this. If you keep doing what you have always done, you will keep getting what you have always gotten. The most successful people I've ever met have mastered the art of strategic discomfort. They have learned to love the challenge of pushing past their limits. They understand that growth happens in the spaces where you are not quite sure you can succeed, but you try anyway. And this brings us to one of the most overlooked aspects of success, the wealth that's built in the shadows, away from the spotlight. And this brings us to a profound truth about lasting success. The real wealth, the true fortune, is built in the shadows. You see, while everyone's chasing quick wins and instant recognition, there's an incredible opportunity that most people misses, the opportunity to build something valuable when no one's paying attention. I remember meeting a software developer who spent 2 years learning an obscure programming language. His colleagues thought he was wasting his time, but he saw something they didn't. He saw the future. When that technology suddenly became crucial to the industry, he was one of the only experts available. His foresight, his private dedication turned into a fortune, not because he got lucky, but because he invested in himself when no one else saw the value. You are actually creating your own market. While others are competing in overcrowded spaces, fighting for attention, you are quietly developing expertise that will be invaluable when the right moment comes. It's like planting seeds in winter. Others might not see the point, but you understand the harvest that's coming. Every single skill you develop in private becomes part of your personal competitive advantage. It's like having a secret weapon that no one knows about until you choose to reveal it. The most successful people I have studied don't just focus on their primary skills. They are constantly developing secondary and tertiary capabilities that complement their core strengths. You have to take the long view. In a world obsessed with overnight success and viral moments, the ability to invest in yourself for the long term is rare. It's not about where you will be next week or next month. It's about where you will be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. And this understanding leads us directly into something even more fundamental, the role of character in lasting success. And this takes us to the very foundation of lasting success. Your character. You see, skills will take you far, but character will take you all the way. Because at the end of the day, success without character is like a house built on sand. It might look impressive, but it won't stand the test of time. Years ago, I met a business leader who lost everything. His company, his reputation, his fortune. But he told me something I will never forget. He said, "I didn't lose my business because of market conditions. I lost it because of the small compromises I made when no one was watching." Those private moments, those silent choices, they are not just decisions, they are the building blocks of your character. Every time you are alone, facing a choice between what's easy and what's right, you are not just making a decision, you are building your future. You are literally constructing your character choice by choice, moment by moment, when you choose to do the right thing, even when it costs you something, even when no one would know the difference. That's not just integrity, that's investing in your future success. Your character determines how you handle success when you achieve it, and more importantly, how you handle the inevitable setbacks along the way. I have seen brilliant people fail because their character couldn't support their talent. And I have seen people with average abilities achieve extraordinary things because their character was unshakable. Personal accountability is not about beating yourself up when you fall short. It's about owning your life completely. It's about understanding that every outcome, every result, every situation you find yourself in, it all comes back to your choices. The moment you truly grasp this, everything changes. Because when you stop blaming circumstances, when you stop waiting for perfect conditions, when you take full responsibility for your life, that's when you become unstoppable. And this brings us to the final crucial understanding about success and the legacy you are building every single day. Your legacy is not something that begins when you have made it. Your legacy is being written right now, in these moments, in these choices, in these private victories that no one sees but you. You know what's incredible? Right now, in this very moment, someone somewhere is making the decision that will change their life forever. They are choosing to get up early when they could sleep in. They are choosing to keep going when they could quit. They are choosing excellence when mediocrity would be easier. And here's the powerful thing, that someone could be you. 20 years from now, people won't remember most of what you said, but they will remember what you built. They will remember how you lived. They will remember the standards you kept when no one was watching. Because that's what a legacy really is. It's not the spotlight moments. It's the accumulated weight of all those private choices, all those silent victories, all those moments when you chose excellence over ease. Success leaves clues. And the biggest clue I have discovered is this. The size of your success will be determined by the size of your daily commitments to excellence. Not your talents, not your connections, not your luck, your commitments. The question is not whether you are leaving a legacy. You are, every single day. What kind of legacy are you choosing to build? Because make no mistake, it is a choice. Every morning when you wake up, you are writing a new page in your legacy. Every decision you make, every action you take, every standard you uphold, especially when no one's watching, that's your legacy in the making. Starting right now today, this moment, choose excellence. Choose to be the person who does the work when others make excuses. Choose to maintain your standards when others cut corners. Choose to keep pushing when others quit. Because that's what champions do. That's how legends are made. That's how legacies are built. Remember, the world doesn't reward people for what they know. It rewards them for what they do. Your future is in your hands. The only question is, what will you do with it? Thank you, and make today count.